We're here at the Arch. I do. Oh my god. So this is how the story ends. I wake up to the sound of birds greeting the day after the rainstorm had passed. I had stayed warm and dry in my glamping tent at the Woods Hole Hostel and stepped out to see the fresh new day, everything wet and the stream on the edge of the property rushing. The clouds in the sky were breaking, however, which held out hope for a decent, sunny day. Teeny tiny blue sky. Last night's guests were gathered in a circle on the lawn, as we had done the afternoon before, to share thoughts and reasons to be grateful. I was a little late joining them this morning, but made my way down to the main house to try and get some breakfast. I spend the remainder of the morning waiting for my ride to arrive, taking a tour of the grounds, put my pin on the map in the bunkhouse, the only one in Washington up to that point, teasing Gilligan about his chores. How's that ditch digging going?
Oh, so much fun.
And seeing best friend off. Bye, little buddy. Homer Witcher drove me an hour and a half into Daleville, and while I was still feeling a bit ill like the day prior, Homer was chipper and chatty and told me stories the whole ride in. About his family and their thru-hike, as well as trail maintenance they did in the area. I arrived in Daleville just in time to walk to the nearby store and diner before the next storm rolled in. I looked out my hotel window and wondered how my trail pals were faring out in the elements. I spend the next day lounging around in my hotel room, only venturing out briefly to collect best friend's shoes from the local outfitter and to drink margaritas at the Mexican restaurant down the street. May 29th finds me finally venturing out of Daleville into Roanoke. It was a beautiful day as I wandered around town and grabbed a salad and a flight of beers at the local brewery. I then decided to kill some time by watching a movie and headed down to the AMC to catch a flick. It was there in the darkness of the theater that I received not one, but two pieces of bad news. I was having a pretty good day yesterday. Looking forward to going home. But first, looking forward to Keith arriving here and finishing out a little section hike. A little section known as the Triple Crown here on the Appalachian Trail. I specifically had envisioned taking my final photo of the Appalachian Trail on McAfee Knob. It's a very well-known photographed place on the AT, and I don't know. I thought it would be a fun place to have my ending photo at. Yeah, I decided to go into Roanoke yesterday and just kind of wander the city. I've got some time to kill. Don't want to just be hanging out here in the hotel room all day long. And I decided to go and see a movie, and while I was at the movie, I got some texts. The first text that I received was from Keith saying that he was exposed to somebody who had gotten COVID, and there might be a chance that he has it. So it looked like it was possible he might not be coming out, and that kind of ruined those plans. But the more
difficult to swallow text was the one that came from Dipper, stating that a hiker had fallen off of McAfee Knob, and it was reported that he had passed away. It's just a terrible tragedy. And it would be a tragedy regardless of who this person was, who this hiker was, but it's made worse by the fact that it is a hiker that I knew, not well, but was the first hiker that I hiked the approach trail with. His name was Paul when I met him. He went by Grandmaster on trail. He is, I don't know, a really nice kid. He was really passionate about helping people. It was clear in the way he talked about it. And from what I recall, it sounded like that's what his dad did as well. And I was quite inspired by the way that he spoke about helping others. It's one of the first interactions that I had as part of my Appalachian Trail journey, and it stuck with me. Like I said, not quite how I expected this one to end, but so is life sometimes.
My hike was officially over. Keith would not be joining me to hike the Triple Crown, and so I spent the day working out the logistics of getting home. With the rental car acquired, I set off to meet best friend and Dipper to say goodbye.
Look who I find here, just on the side of the road.
Just stranded.
Out in the middle
Some
of
smelly hiker.
random Virginia, backwoods Virginia.
So much good social media content. Look at all the things I've learned. Like, look at this.
Did the tape not hold, or did you
No,
pull?
this is layers of duct tape.
Oh my god.
This is absolutely bonkers.
Oh my god. Wow.
I am so happy. Seriously, so I am so glad that you came up with this. Oh, by the way, if we can meet earlier, then
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it didn't feel
Oh,
right.
That sounds like Tigger. Yep. I think if you.
Oh no. Is there a spot where you gotta step in the water
It's like a
out
bit
there?
Muddy. It's like a teeny tiny bit muddy.
I literally pulled up right as he was
Yeah,
walking
that
out.
was perfect timing.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought you had hidden out there and we're just like waiting for a sweaty hiker to show up.
I didn't get as much chill time as you guys, so.
That's also fair. I'll be out of here.
When did you get here? Like 6:15?
Pretty much, yeah.
I haven't driven in 2 months. It's been 2 months since I've driven
Holy shit.
to the day.
It was so nice
Yeah, I guess
meeting
it's
you,
been.
dude. And really sent me like your postcard.
Yes.
Designated
Oh.
thing.
Hugs
I'm
never
not gonna
felt
do it,
so genuine and special on the side of the road with semi-strangers as they did that afternoon.
I'm sure I'm the worst of all of us.
Aww.
It's always doing that.
Yep.
I took the long way back to the hotel and enjoyed the drive on the back roads of Virginia, a place I had never been before and was unsure if I would ever be again. I took in every moment. It was beautiful. May 31st, I departed the Best Western for the last time and take one more side trip before making my way to Charlotte to catch my flight home. I had a resupply box sitting at the Catawba post office that needed to be returned home. Good supplies can't go to waste. On my way there, I noticed a hiker with his thumb out and decided to pick him up. It was Smooth, the same hiker whose daughter had taken our packs back on our marathon day into Damascus. I had not gotten the chance to thank him for his act of kindness, and so this opportunity to repay the act was well-timed. After completing our tasks at the post office and dropping Smooth back off at the trailhead, I made my way to Charlotte. It felt strange being in the airport, dressed in my usual hiking top, carrying around my little ditty bag with my few unchecked possessions. I boarded the plane and started the long trek home. I arrived in Seattle around 1 a.m. Keith had gotten sick from his COVID exposure, and I told him to get some sleep and pick me up in the morning. It felt weird to be so close to home and not be able to get there for another 5 to 6 hours. The thought of walking home had crossed my mind, as silly as the thought was. I laid out my foam mat and camp pillow and attempted to get some sleep right there on the floor of the SeaTac terminal. And there we have it, the end of my AT journey in 2022. I wanted to just take a moment again to say thank you to everyone who has been watching the series, everyone who has commented on my videos. I've really enjoyed interacting with all of you, and I'm looking forward to telling more stories in the future. Like I said in the previous video, I should have an announcement here soon about what my 2024 summer plans will be. And we'll have a couple of filler series that will be posted on the channel here in the next month or so. So if you guys are interested in seeing more about what I'm up to, feel free to stay tuned. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Crazy animal.